Rowington.
Smash.
Smash. Pierce scenes and all. That, you know,
rings and all.
Something new.
As is.
Rings and all.
Is what it
As is.
is. Okay, 3, 2, and 1. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Welcome back to Fictionally Unstable, because real life's not dramatic enough.
With your host, Jessica.
Maciel.
And Lauren. Oh, wait, I need to find my rating because I don't remember if I have it.
I don't remember what.
It's been so long.
It's okay, I finished it right before I got here.
I finished it 2 weeks ago, and I don't remember anything.
I remember, well, obviously I know it's fresh in my mind, but I'm going to remember this one more than Phantasma. Like, later on.
I kind of did, I think, as well. I think the Phantasma trials were a lot to remember, so this one was less to remember in my eyes.
Yes. And on that note, we're talking about Enchantra today.
Enchantra by Kaylie Smith.
By Kaylie Smith. It is the sequel, I guess, or
The second installment of the Wicked Games, because apparently there's a third.
apparently there's a third.
Going to be a third. I don't know who that's going to be about. Who, Lucy and fucking Grave?
No, I think it's going to go back to Ophelia and Blackwell, because in one of the chapters in the book, they set it up for that. Like someone's going to come after Blackwell.
Oh, the king.
Oh.
One of the servant people or one of the other devils.
Oh, the devils. Yeah, probably for the king.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's what I'm
His
assuming
father.
it'll be about.
Yeah, so maybe they'll all be in it.
Yeah, that would be nice.
That would be nice. Yeah, if they're all together.
Yeah.
Okay, so talking about Enchantra by Kaylie Smith this week. Let's do a brief. So it is the sequel to Phantasma by Kaylie Smith. It follows younger sister of Ophelia Grimm. Her name is Genevieve Grimm. And I guess it takes place in Italy from what I can...
Because this was like her trip, right? After the end of
Yes.
Phantasma
Yes.
that they bought her.
So it takes place in Italy. It starts off pretty much Genevieve is going there to find an acquaintance of her mother named Barrington Silver. She gets caught up in a hunting game at the Enchantra mansion hosted by the devil Knox and ends up in an arranged marriage to Rowington Silver that is supposed to be beneficial to the both of them if they win the game. During this entire process, Genevieve uncovers the true story and curse of the Silver family and becomes determined to free them and falls in love along the way. Okay, ratings, because I think both of you just told me that you guys like this one better than the first one.
I don't remember what I gave Phantasma.
Let me see what I gave it. Yeah, okay. This is tracking. So for me, I give it a 4.5.
Okay.
I actually really like this book. I can't give it a 5 because I don't like the ending. I don't like how Kaylie Smith, sorry girl, but I don't like how you end your endings are too fast for me. You put so much detail into the middle of the story, which is great because it evolves, but I don't like quick endings. If you're going to take that much time, like I need there to be equal on both parts, or it should end on a big cliffhanger, and it's like not, yes, it's setting itself up for the third book, but it's not a cliffhanger. Like this story has ended. So I can't give it a full 5. But I enjoyed this one a lot more for the relationship development. I feel like Phantasma was more complex because of the game, so it was a bit more interesting. But this one's more complex because of the relationships with the siblings. And yeah, I thought it was better. And I like Genevieve more than Ophelia. She's much more intriguing to like read from her perspective. Ophelia was really annoying to me. Yeah.
Ophelia, blood freak. Lauren.
I wish I could remember what I gave Phantasma. I think I give Enchantra, I think a 4.5 as well. I feel like I gave Phantasma like a 3.5. Yeah, I pretty much agree. I liked their love story a lot better. I think that it was more realistic in the sense that like they both had a lot to lose and a lot to gain. And so they both had to go through a lot of struggles, where I feel like in Phantasma, the struggle was obviously more so on just Ophelia's side. And so Blackwell, not that he had a lot to gain still, But I feel like they were working together a lot more in Enchantra between Genevieve and Rowan.
That's because Ophelia was stubborn and she wouldn't listen to what Black
Yeah.
said.
Which Genevieve was still too, in a sense. I liked the game itself. When it said hide and seek, I was
Hello.
I was watching him. I was like, he's gonna do that.
when it said hide and seek, I was kind of like, how is that gonna
Right.
be without it being kind of stupid? But I actually liked the game a lot, and I think the rules and stuff were pretty simple, so it was easy to understand. And I liked the ending. I agree. I wish it would have like the ending of how we'll get to it. She lost her memory. I wish that was drawn out a little bit more in more detail. But yeah, other than that, I really liked it.
My dog just like fucking flew.
And yes, I like Genevieve better. I like her narration and her thoughts and reading those because she's pretty funny.
Yeah,
She's fucking hilarious, this girl.
I think I would give my rating the same as Phantasma. I think I like both pretty equally. Like there was, so I think I gave it a 4. Phantasma. So I'll give Enchantra a 4. I think there was like in both books, there's things I like and dislike about them.
I want to see what my rating was for Phantasma because I really can't remember.
I'm looking at our episode right
Oh,
now.
you are?
Yeah.
I'm
trying to-
either.
Yes. See where we give it ratings. But keep going.
Yes, I liked Genevieve as a main protagonist more. I still think Phantasma, like the setting was more interesting to me than Enchantra. But then, yeah, I kind of liked the love story and progression of Enchantra a little bit more. So kind of just like 50-50. Yeah.
I don't know where our ratings are. Sorry,
Should
guys.
be in the beginning.
Okay, well, I'm 12 minutes in and I didn't hear it yet. Hold on.
I feel like too the beginning. So I had a hard time tracking the beginning of this book, all of the names and the setup.
Yeah.
I was getting really lost.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll figure it out later. It's fine. I didn't end up listening again. I was going to. I feel like Phantasma, the beginning, the setup of the place and the people was a lot more detailed, so it was easier to follow.
Yeah.
But it was just a family, so it's not a big deal.
I do remember giving each of the siblings nicknames, but now I can't remember. One of them has a snake tongue, right? Like
That's Grave, I think.
Gravington?
No, that's Coven.
Oh,
Covington, the freak, the one that likes to have a lot of sex.
Yeah.
Okay.
let me pull up the name.
Yeah. So Ellen is the only girl.
Yes, Ellington.
Yeah. I mean, I go by their
I
nicknames.
know, but the fact that they're
all tons.
Ington,
Inkton.
Rowington,
Remington.
They're
Remington.
twins.
They're twins.
And then Wellington and Ellington are twins as well.
Yes.
There's Sevington. He is the one always with the lollipop, and he loves
fucking
to
favorite.
party.
I love
Yeah,
him.
he's funny. And then you have Gravington. He's the grumpy one.
Yeah.
Gravington.
And Barrington's their father.
Barrington's her father.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Here's Lauren's ready.
I really liked the basis of it. I liked the trials. I thought the story was very cool. I agree. I would have liked more of the trials and the levels expanded.
Give me that number, girl.
Versus their romance. Because their romance was very surface level. But then all of a sudden it was like, we're in love.
I feel like I would have given it in the first.
But I love Dante's Inferno, and I love.
I feel like I gave it before all of this.
Take from Dante's Inferno.
Are you sure?
That portion.
Yeah, I feel like I would give the number first.
One chapter per trial, so I would have liked if they spread them out more. I see. Over maybe like a little.
Damn, you did. Did you?
Yeah.
Aside from
This is a lot of build up for me to give a number.
Okay, hold
spread them
on.
out.
Hold
But
on.
I love expanded. Very cool. See, we're all gonna be surprised. All right, Lauren, your rating in fact. I gave it a 3.7.
3.7.
There you go.
I didn't hear you say that.
Okay.
All right.
Let me go through. We'll go through 10 chapters at a time, I guess. Is that cool? Okay. Listen, I had other plans for this episode. However, based on how my idea went last time, I was like, let's.
What was
What was
the
your
idea?
idea?
Forget it.
Don't knock it till
No.
we tried and we're like,
we
wait.
have segments later. We're gonna do a smash or pass later.
Okay.
Okay. Was that the idea though?
That's one of the ideas.
What was
What
the
was
first
the
idea?
actual idea?
No, I'm not gonna say
Why?
it.
Why?
Because now I'm embarrassed. Okay,
Don't be
let's move
embarrassed.
on.
Nothing's been published yet.
That part, we're gonna cut it out.
Chapter 1.
Duke, what was the idea?
He's like, I remember, Mom.
So we'll go through 10 chapters at a time, and I'll just kind of give I won't go into details, so if you guys want to add any specific details, you guys can.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. So,
Start taking notes till chapter 10.
okay, gotcha.
I have some. Oh, I guess I only have one highlight I want to mention, but go.
Okay. So, chapter 1, we are greeted with the sentence, Genevieve Grimm's first murder was in the heart of Rome. So she's in Rome, waiting to meet up with her sister, and pretty much she's getting followed by a bunch of crows that are like leading her back to where she's staying. She's getting the idea that she needs to like pack her bags, and she picks up this letter she found from back home addressed to her mother, Tessie, from someone named Barrington Silver, who seems to be her mom's old friend. The letter is demanding Tessie to visit the Enchantra estate before the spring equinox, and Genevieve is the one that sets off to go.
Did she, like when she got the trip to go to Italy, did she have the plan already? Did it say to go research this letter?
I thought it did, right? And then it was
so.
because she was about to leave that it was like the crows were,
Yeah.
Leading her.
yeah, they were like bothering her more and more. And she was like, I need to go to this place.
Yeah. I think she was kind of, what do you call it? Like dilly-dallying a little bit, like on vacation before deciding to go there. But I assume that she already went with the intention of, like she chose Italy to go there with the intention of
Going to
Enchantra.
Enchantra.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Chapter 2, pretty much Genevieve is on the train to Florence, which is the closest city to her destination. We figure out that this is where she kind of has the desire to figure out more about the paranormal, figure out if there's like other families like her, just kind of trying to fill this void within her. She's the one that initiated the letters with Barrington, forged with her mother's signature before he died, in hopes to get an invitation to the manor. When she gets off the train, she takes a carriage driven by a guy named Morello to Enchantra, that they can only find on a certain map. And then once they approach, they see a gate wrapped in vines with some berries, and beyond the gate is an empty field. So in the next chapter, Morello's like, why are we here? Like, there's nothing back here, right? So in chapter 3, Genevieve sees some glimmering behind the gates, and she can tell that there's like some sort of magic covering the reality covering Enchantra. This carriage guy pretty much insists that he doesn't leave her there, and she uses her magic to scare him away. Her what is it called? Spectre? No.
Yeah, she's a specter.
Spectre, yeah. Where she like disappears. She gets a feeling she's being watched. We learn of her distaste for Pharaoh Henry, her ex, but we're unsure of what happened between them yet. For some reason, she decides to eat all the berries off the vines for some reason.
I was confused. Because again, didn't pay attention to that. Why did she just ate them? I didn't understand what happened.
Me either. She's like, oh, I'm hungry, I guess. So,
Okay.
yeah, I don't remember.
She's always eating the berries. That's for sure.
Eating the berries. It reminds me of when we were reading Fifth Wing by Reed Mockery, and all the character could talk about was how hungry she was all the time.
And her fat ass.
So she eats the berries off the vine, the magic lifts, and she sees, the hedge maze, the villa, or the estate, etc. The estate is covered in ice and snow. She's able to enter, and then she's approached by a black fox, who then takes her invitation from her and runs away into the maze. She follows after it, but when she caught the fox, it disappears into black smoke. After that, one of the crows that had been following her drops to the ground with an engorged belly full of berries. So she's like, oh shit, I shouldn't have eaten that shit. And then she faints. And And then she wakes up to something licking her before being picked up from the ground. She blinks out, and then when she wakes up again, she's back on the outside of the Enchantra gates with her luggage. So someone's determined that she don't stay here. Next chapter. So in this chapter, Genevieve wakes up. She tries to re-enter Enchantra and turns invisible until she gets to the door so that no one can like see that she's in there. The door opens to a man who says she cannot come in, and after he rejects her the first time, the second time she knocks and he opens it with swirling black shadows around him.
He's a shadow daddy.
Aren't they all?
Lauren just rolled her eyes. Hey, I love my shadow daddies. So she continues to try to insist that she come in, saying that she was invited there and that she wants to see Mr. Barrington Silver. However, this man retorts that she wasn't invited there, but someone named Tessie. He asks to see her invitation and knows she has it. She closes the door. He closes the door on her again, but Genevieve is determined to enter, and she ends up turning invisible to enter the manor. So she gets inside. Okay, chapter 5. Genevieve is wandering the manor. She finds some silver mirrors. She finds some portraits of, a silver-haired girl with a leopard and a black-haired man with an owl. So she's just kind of wandering around until she ends up in the ballroom, where she encounters the girl from the picture, Ellen, and her brother, Seven. So this is Ellington and Sevington. They mention things about a hunt that hasn't started, that they will kill her and put her out of her misery before Knox does. She mentions the fox, and they assume / she confirms that she's with Rowan, who is the guy who opened the door and refused to let her in. So she's kind of trying to save her ass right now. She's like, oh yeah, I'm with him. He let me in. So amidst their talking, she turns invisible and heads downstairs, where she encounters Rowan again, who is furious that she entered even though he helped her recover from the demon berries. So he tells her she doesn't know what she got herself into and asks if she's married before looking at her hands. Suddenly, he appears amused, and he says that she can't leave now. He summons Umbra, the fox, from his shadows and tells Umbra to watch her while he goes and gets his father. And then Barrington comes into the picture. So now she finally gets to meet the person that she wanted to meet in the first place. So we find out that Barrington is Rowington and the other sibling's father, who is immortal. So he doesn't look like he has aged from the photo. Rowan states that her entering Enchantra, not Phantasma, is actually good for him. And so Barrington, his father and him exchange looks, and his father's expression kind of lights up to show some kind of epiphany. Barrington realizes that Genevieve is Tessie's daughter and that she knows nothing about who he is. He says getting her out of Enchantra on this day will be difficult, and he beckons her to come help him prepare the house for whatever they're about to do. And then this is where Barrington kind of goes into detail about explaining who Knox is, and that Barrington is pretty much Knox's familiar who is bound to him for as long as Knox lives. And devils are pretty much immortal, which makes Barrington immortal at this moment. So that's kind of the situation that he's in. He states usually familiars are animals, but he is human. He was a human who was bored with his life, which is why he took this deal with Knox. He met his wife Vera, who was a demon and had 7 children. So that means that all of the siblings are a wraith. So a wraith is a child born between a human and a demon. His wife became ill with a disease called crimson rot. And while there is no cure, he made a deal with the devil Knox to help prolong her life as much as possible, which led to his children having to participate in the hunt every year. Yeah.
So how did she get crimson rot, or it just?
We'll find.
Girl, I don't remember. It's fine.
From a Knox.
At the
Oh,
end.
okay, yeah. Okay. That's why I was like, I thought it was put upon her.
The 7 children are Gravington, Covington, Rowington, Remington, Sevington, Wellington, Ellington.
Yes.
It's so fucking annoying.
And then, what's the mom's name again?
Vera. Then the dad's name is Barrington.
Vera, something a little more normal. Okay, yes. So his children have to participate in the hunt every year. And since Genevieve entered Enchantra on this particular day, she is now a player of the hunt and must win or be killed.
Well, the reason for the hunt is because he was trying to get rid of his bond or whatever. What is it called?
Like his tie?
His tie to Nox. And so he said, due to she became ill because of this, and also because he tried to break that tie. So now this is like what he has to deal with.
Like his punishment.
It's his punishment, yeah. That they have to every year they have to do the hunt.
Yeah. So essentially think of it like the siblings all participate in this hunt, and pretty much you die over and over again every year. And go to hell unless you're the winner.
Yep.
And then the winner gets granted something, right?
Like a wish.
Like a wish.
They get to go to his like treasure trove and like
and
get
take
a
something.
treasure. And then they're not bound to go to hell, back to hell. Like
Yeah.
they can be a little bit more free. Yeah.
And everybody else has to do whatever duties he calls for them.
Right. Yeah. Like they have to follow his command, essentially. And we do find out that like even though they are essentially immortal each time they die, it's a very painful process.
Yeah, like they still feel the
Yeah.
deaths fully.
Yes. Okay. In chapter 7. Yes, this is where he explains everything. So Rowan kind of explains how even though they've played the hunt for years, because they are immortal, they don't die. Instead, Nox's magic rips their souls from their corporeal form and transports them back to hell, and then they live out the rest of the year under Nox's command. The winner gets to stay in Enchantra until a new hunt begins, and that's kind of how that works.
And it's only made for people
Silver.
whose last name is Silver. Silver family.
The Silver family. Genevieve is kind of waiting in the drawing room, and then two of the siblings, Ellen and Seven, come to tease her. And then Barrington and Rowan kind of intercept and kick them out before proposing that Rowan and Genevieve get married. The hunt was designed for players with the last name Silver only. So a loophole in the game is that if a spouse of one of the children enters the hunt and the couple wins, they are released from the hunt forever. So that was kind of Rowan's idea all along when he asked her if she was married. So he wants to marry her or essentially put on this fake marriage so that they can participate in this hunt together.
But it's also to save her too, because she would have died
Otherwise.
Yeah.
regardless.
Like she didn't have a
Definitely.
choice.
Yeah.
So if the couple wins, they are released from the hunt forever. However, if they lose their first hunt together, then they are stuck playing the hunt for the rest of their lives. And pretty much Barrington says that Nox will be watching closely, and so will the spectators of the hunt. So they need to make their fake love seem real on the outside.
Like Squid Games.
Like Squid Games.
Like Hunger Games.
Like Hunger Games. Like
Yeah,
all the
Hunger
games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Genevieve listens to all this, and then she fucking runs away. She ain't, no way. And that's how that chapter ends. So in the next chapter, she runs towards a bathroom and she locks herself inside. She sees a twisted version of herself in the mirror and hears a voice.
What is going on? Duke, you good?
Here. You want this spot? Okay, show me back. Come on.
He's like, thanks for moving. I appreciate it.
Okay. All right. I'm on the floor today, I guess. Where was I?
Chapter 8, the mirror.
Chapter 8, the mirror. Okay. So she sees a twisted version of herself in the mirror and hears a voice, Nox, the devil. He pulls her in via strings of the mirror to a essentially reflected version of Enchantra. He leads her to the hedge maze where she tells him she's Rowan's fiance and that they will be married tonight. Nox is amused and says that if they don't follow through with the marriage, there will be severe consequences. He then says that he wants to do a preliminary test with her before the hunt. And after he disappears, illusions of a couple of the Silver siblings start attacking her. She manages to escape and goes back through the mirror to reality. She bolts for the gates of Enchantra, determined to leave. So behind the mirror, she's kind of getting a taste of what the hunt will be like, essentially. Mm-hmm. Glad you're comfortable. Okay, chapter 9, Grave Mistake. When Genevieve heads into the hedge maze towards the gate, she realizes she's being followed and sees someone that looks like Rowan, except when the real Rowan appears with his lip ring. She realizes it's Rowan's twin, Rowington. They don't appear to have the best relationship, as Remy appears bitter about Rowan never writing or talking to his family while they are in hell, because we find out that Rowan is pretty much, or has pretty much won every hunt for like the last few, a lot of them. Like for the last few times that they've played, he's always winning. Rowan proposes a deal that if Genevieve can make it to the gates before him, he will give her a choice to either play the game with him or alone. But if he wins, she must marry him and they play as a couple. He beats her, obviously. He's just like poofs into existence over there.
She's like, you said we couldn't use magic. He's like, I said you couldn't use magic.
Yeah. Read the fine print. She is frustrated and tries to leave, but the gates continue to push her back and nullify her spectre magic. And then Rowan's just like picking her up like a sack of potatoes and carrying her back to the house. And then she bites his ass.
I highlighted it. Says, then she did the only other thing she could think of. She bit him in the ass.
Which is interesting.
All she could do.
Yeah, that she's like, either he has a short torso or he's like carrying her where she's
by like
so
her
far
fucking
down.
ankles.
And then chapter 10, Cold Feet. Rowan gives her a tour of Enchantra so they can strategize for the games. During the tour, they happen upon an observer who they thought was Nox, but it is actually Grave. So this is Gravington. We see how well Rowan puts on a facade of his love for his fiance. They're in like the stairwell, I think it is, or something, or like they're like on the stairs, right? And he thought he saw someone that could like, that was like a spectator, and so he like pulls her close and pushes her against the banister of the stairs. No, just me that remembers that? Okay.
No, he does that because they need to put on a show.
Yeah. Yep.
And then he's like, oh, it's just my brother.
Great. She heads back to the drawing room, but happens to peek into a room where there is a man with a serpent on his back, slicing a knife into his ribs. And then she runs away.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's Covington.
That is.
Yeah. So that's Covington. So we've met everybody. Have we met everybody at this point?
Let me see. Hold on.
She saw Covington in the room, Gravington on the stairs.
Covington is the last one she meets, so yeah.
Okay.
Or she sees.
Yes. She meets Remington in the maze. She met Rowington first, and then Ellen and Sevington. Oh, she hasn't met Wellington. Beef Wellington?
Hold on.
Or either she did and I just didn't write it down.
Hold on, I have an ad. I can't look at my notes yet. I'll let you know. Why? I have an ad right now. I wrote it in the order that they came in, so we'll see.
Okay. Well, that was the first 10 chapters. So how do we feel about those chapters and like kind of the setup for what Enchantra is going to be about? I'm going to be honest, the beginning of this book for me was really random. Like, it was just like,
here's everybody, here's where they are,
right.
Here's what they're doing. Okay, now we can start.
And like, there's so many times that I'm going to read about her trying to run away. And I was like, girl, you just got to accept it at this point. I don't know what to tell you, you know?
She does meet Wellington before she sees Covington. And she learns actually she doesn't learn about that being Ellen's twin until later on. But I forget how she meets him, but she met him before she saw Covington.
Okay, so Covington was the last one she met.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, I thought like the setup was a little bit random for me.
I think that's just why I was getting confused because I kept getting names and I was like, I can't picture who this is yet because I don't know who they are. So
I felt like going back to the she could have left more room like at the end to expand on that. I feel like she could have shortened the beginning of all of this. As far as like everything that happened, like in the beginning, like I feel like the author could have just set up like, this is Genevieve, she's at Enchantra, these are the siblings, this is the situation they're in, and now they're getting married, and kind of just like move on versus like all of like the little.
But it's gonna leave you with questions of like,
side.
how did she get there? Why'd she get there?
Yeah.
Right. And then also to, she's trying to build a scene where this manor is huge, which it is. So she has to come across all these people, right? Like he's not giving her the information. He doesn't give her any information until like later on.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense. I thought it was fine. I thought it was straight to the point. Yes, they gave a lot of names, but I was telling Jess earlier before you got here was, so I finished it right before I got here, but I had to, the last time I was listening to it, which was like a couple weeks ago, I think I ended at like chapter 15, but it literally was like going by. I was like, I have no idea. Remember when I first talked to you guys about it, I was like, I think I'm at this part, and I was like getting all these names wrong. I was like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm listening to. So then last night I was like, I need to look at it while I'm hearing it. And then it clicked right away. And I was like, oh, so as they were saying all the names, I was like, clocked it. That's the sibling, you know? I was like, he only has one sister. The rest of them are boys.
There's two pairs of twins. There's
two pairs of twins. Yeah. And
an
they're
asshole brother, less of an asshole brother.
And they're the only ones in this home.
Yeah.
That's literally that. And then it makes sense. Like they're setting it up so that they are going to be spectators. They can all watch them through the mirrors. That's the whole point of all the mirrors being
there.
Yeah. I was just like, all right, how's the games going to work?
Yeah.
You know, like I was waiting for that part, but I think it was fine the way she set it up. It is what it is. Just our shadow daddy is mysterious. I like him way better.
I do.
She said the same thing.
I do too.
Oh my God. He is way better than fucking, what's his name? Blackwell.
Or Salem.
Salem.
Yeah.
Salem mistress.
Salamestras. Way better than him.
I did
oh my
as
gosh.
well. Appearance and all.
Appearance and everything. Yeah. Well, also too, because I thought he was fucking Casper the Friendly Ghost. And this guy's an actual man. So, hello.
I like Rowington's looks, but I like Blackwell's personality more. I think Rowington was a little too like, he reminded me of kind of reminded me of Kingfisher, which I didn't really like his personality at first either. So
like very just to the point.
Like rude.
Yeah, he's like kind of rude.
I thought he was kind of quiet. I mean, it makes his personality makes sense why he was rude at the beginning. He didn't want her there.
Like a man that's a little mean. I don't know.
You know what? We all have preferences. I'm not shaming it. No one.
You know, he was worried. Their game is about to start and she got to be a part of it now.
And he has a wife now.
He was like, what the fuck? This bitch walked in and I told her to stay out. So what do we do now?
Yeah. I guess we get married.
Like, we're on a time crunch.
Yeah. Which brings us to chapter 11. Genevieve gets ready for the wedding with Ellen. She realizes that the family knows her mother, Tessie, and she tells them her mother is dead, and everyone is shocked, including Barrington. And then Barrington lectures Graves, saying that he better not tell Knox about the fake marriage, or there might be consequences for the entire family. So at this point, we know that Grave is kind of like the asshole brother. He's not really like
he's not a team player.
He's not a team player. He just kind of does what he wants to do. And he's not exactly happy about the whole situation. Whereas everyone else is just kind of a little bit indifferent about it. In chapter 12, Genevieve and Rowan get married with his family present and Knox coming in to observe. And then she ends up having a nightmare about Pharaoh Henry calling her a demon.
Ooh, her dress. Her wedding dress. I really liked the description of her wedding dress. They said it was an opalescent white, almost lilac wedding dress with a pleated skirt.
Yeah.
Sounded very pretty.
Yeah, very pretty.
Minus the puffy sleeves. Actually, I think she said she had puffy sleeves. I don't like sleeves.
It's very 1800s
Victorian.
Italy type description. Yeah. But it sounds like it would suit her very well.
Yeah.
Chapter 13. Genevieve wakes up and she goes to snoop on the conversation of the Silver siblings. Everyone is pretty much against Rowan winning and the fact that he never talks to them between games. So they're just kind of dogging on him, essentially. The family is stuck playing the game to keep their mother alive from crimson rot. Rowan tries to tell them how him winning will benefit everybody because if he can escape, he will find a cure for their mother, which essentially will free them. But everyone is adamant that there is no cure. Rowan goes back to the room and talks with Genevieve, and Knox ends up making an appearance as well.
There's a quote that I liked. Hold on, let me see. So Grave is obviously pissed, like we mentioned, that that Rowan put this whole idea or plan into motion to get married. So hopefully if they win, they are free forever. And so 7 is making jokes that he's saying Rowan's little romantic charade is certainly going to steal favored from me. So the viewers vote who their favorite is, and then they win a token, I think.
Yeah, they win something.
They win something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have like an advantage. I think it's in addition to their wish and their thing, the thing from his treasure trove.
Yeah,
thing.
and 7 wins favored every year.
Yeah.
So he he doesn't win the game, but he wins the favored every year.
And then he's also my favorite.
Yeah, he's great.
I would have voted for him.
And then Grave is, as they're like all talking, Grave is pissed, so he just tells them all to shut the fuck up. And then he goes up to Rowan and he's like, "You and your bride can sleep in peace tonight, but the moment the hunt begins, you will not be getting any mercy from me. So I suggest you take Coven's advice and thoroughly enjoy the masquerade." Oh yeah, because they're going to a party.
Yes.
And then Rowan is pissed and he advances him and then he goes, "And I won't be showing you any mercy if you lay a finger on my wife." And I was like, period. Already. He's protective of her.
Already. Chapter 14, also I think a pretty short chapter. Genevieve and Rowan get ready for bed and he gives her this onyx ring. He says it will heat up if there is someone nearby that wants to harm her, and so the hotter it gets, the closer they are.
And her reaction to that ring
was, "It's fucking ugly."
Wait, hold on. Yup.
Well,
Let's see if this is the same one. Well, let me just read some of this page. So he talks about them having to, she's trying to take off her dress. So she's asking him to unlace her corset. Or he is asking her that to help her unlace her corset.
Yeah, he's like,
and she's like, absolutely not. And he's like, well, you make everything difficult, basically. And she's like, I'm not going to fuck you just because we're married. And then he's like, well, tell me, Trouble. So that's her little nickname for him, Trouble. He's like,
the other one was Angel. This one's Trouble.
he's like, what does you getting changed have to do with us fucking? And then, she's trying to pull this trick on him, like, you're trying to get me undressed, yada, yada, yada. And then when it comes to him asking her to like put a nightgown on or like, whatever, she's like, I'm not sure I have any nightgowns that would be appropriate to wear in front of you. He snorted, whatever you haven't, oh my God, I can't read. Whatever you have wouldn't be anything I haven't seen before. And she's like, I hate when people say that. It is something you've never seen before me, and I'm spectacular.
I heard the same. I said, period. She knows her worth.
She knows her worth. She's a funny girl.
She is funny. Yeah.
Did you read the ring one?
No, that was the one. I'm sorry. I know you talked about the ring, but you're like, that's it, chapter 14. I was like, I have a quote from chapter 14. What's the ring one?
The ring one? Oh, when he gives her the ring, she said, I'd never usually say no to a man gifting me jewelry, but this is ugly. She said, and he said, it isn't meant to be fashionable. It's meant to be helpful. Yeah.
He's a man of practicality. All right. Chapter 15, Ellen wakes up Genevieve and tells her she needs to get ready for the masquerade.
Oh wait, sorry, I had to have one more thing for
yeah.
chapter 14. I wrote down because after she gets changed, they go to bed, right? And she spent all this time saying like, "You're not gonna fuck me. We're not fucking. Whatever."
Yeah.
They lay in bed, and she's like, "So are we just going to sleep?" I was like, she's asking a lot of questions for someone who was just on 10 toes saying, "We're not gonna fuck."
She's like, but I want you to at least try.
Well, he has also too like
The
pillows
yeah.
in between them. Like he's like this fucking girl. And then do you guys remember when she has her dream?
About Faro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she wakes up like she's screaming and everything, and he has the pillows like this. I was like, this guy is like, fuck you.
He's like, it's not my problem right now. I've got other things to worry about. Okay. So, Genevieve's getting ready for the masquerade, and on the bed, there are some gloves and a box with a rabbit mask inside addressed from Knox. When she steps out into the hall, she sees some guests. One named Cedric bothers her and is trying to propose some deal to make them rich. However, when this man is near, the onyx ring heats up and she knows his intentions aren't good. So he knows that, he wants to harm her in some way. They kind of get into like a little bit of an altercation and she manages to escape by biting him. Genevieve goes to talk with Barrington, and when she enters the study, she finds this there's this big black portal like in the center of the room. She finds Barrington and she tells him about how her mother died, and he is furious at Gabriel, which is Genevieve's father, and that she even entered Phantasma to begin with. He tells her a bit about him and his mother's history together, and about the soul locks, i.e. the lockets that they wore on their necks and why they have like the same ones. That becomes a little bit important later, towards the end of the book. And then she finds out that we find out that there are different betting categories. So the spectators obviously gamble on this hunt. So betting categories include champion, so who's going to come out as a champion, who the first hunter is going to be, which I think is random, who's going to be the first eliminated, who are going to be the final two that have to face off with each other, who's going to get the most kills, and who's going to be favored. So those are all like kind of the betting categories the spectators can gamble on. And so the game is literally a hunt where a hunting blade chooses a hunter at the beginning of each round. The hunter can choose which edition of the game they'd like to play. And then there are safe hours, which start 12 hours after, I think, or before or prior or something like that, right? There are like 12 hours in the day where they cannot hunt. Yeah. So that's kind
And
of
they can use their magic.
And they can use their magic.
Yeah. So it's like for them. So that's where the section is done, I guess.
Yeah.
They have 12 hours to hunt. And then after the 12 hours, they're
kind of relax a little bit.
Yeah, they get ready for the next one.
Yep. Yep. So that's kind of how the game works. Oh, yes. And then, like we mentioned before, there are the one-way mirrors that allow spectators to view what's happening inside. And they're all kind of just like around the house. So we get to the masquerade, where Genevieve ends up drinking a lot of champagne. She's kind of dancing with Remington first and then Rowington first. So she dances with the twins until Knox makes his grand entrance. Suddenly the dance floor is filled with beds and sheer curtains, and Knox urges Genevieve to take a sip of this purple fizzy drink, and she does. Everyone toasts to the silvers, and suddenly her and Rowan are feeling hot and strange. Trying, but not trying to fight an urge. I'm like, you guys aren't trying hard enough.
She literally drank Molly.
He's fighting the urge because he's like, I know what he doesn't go in, or what is it? He doesn't allow them to go further because he's like, this is what Knox does, right? It's like a trick to keep them
to keep them occupied basically for that whole time. Because he's like, for the entire time, like hours basically.
Before the hunt starts.
Yeah. They literally take some drugs and aphrodisiacs in a cup.
Mm-hmm.
Um.
And then it's a one big orgy.
Yep, it's pretty much a big orgy. So in the next chapter, Genevieve and Rowan kind of are getting into it a little bit until Rowan breaks it and he kind of runs away. And he tells Genevieve to not come find him. But she enters into a room or his room, seeing him being tied up by a beautiful woman named Gwen, which we find out is Sevington's ex.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was getting tied up in his bedroom.
Yeah. He's like, restrain me.
He's like this.
And she opens the door and she goes, honey, I'm home.
She's like, we've been married for less than 24 hours and you're already cheating on me. That's great. So she's in this room. Gwen leaves, the woman that tied him up. And Rowan ends up tricking Genevieve into thinking that they're going to have some sort of passionate affair, but they don't.
Mm-hmm.
He literally just lets Genevieve pleasure herself while he watches.
Because he's like, show me.
Yeah.
She's like, I want you to get me off.
Out of your system.
Yep. And he's like, all right, have fun.
Now we're done. And she's kind of pissed about that. She's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But she does go back to the masquerade where she encounters that Cedric guy again, who was kind of one of the spectators who was kind of giving her shit. And he corners her, but she uses her specter magic, and Rowan kind of comes to her rescue, and he's kind of furious about it. Cedric mentions that if anything happens to him, the demonic will do something. And the demonic, I guess, are like this kind of like elite group.
Yeah, it's like a high society for demons.
Right, yeah. So Genevieve leaves per Rowan's instructions. Knox appears next to her, and she tells him how she knows Salem, who is Blackwell from the previous book, and that if anything happens to her, that Salem will be furious. And if you guys read the first book, you know that Salem is the prince of the devils, so the king of the devil's son. Knox attempts to try to make a deal with Genevieve, but she declines. And at this point, Genevieve feels the magic leave her body, and round one of the hunt begins. Or is about to start. They're about to choose the first hunter.
Was it in that chapter, did you already mention, when the spectator Cedric assaulted her? Okay.
Yeah. He assaulted her, but Rowan kind of comes to her rescue, and he's pissed about it.
It was in the bathroom or something.
Yeah. And it comes to light later, but he and Sevington, they kill him. Yeah.
He kills him, and then he has Sevington help him hide the body. And they take him to
the vampires.
To the vampires. To make it look like
they just drank his blood and killed him.
Yeah, so that they wouldn't get in trouble or whatever.
Yep. So, kudos to Rowington for protecting his woman.
Period.
Yeah.
See, Salem only beat up the other guy.
This guy killed him.
Rowan killed him.
Both were good. Okay, so round one of the hunt begins. So in chapter 18, Knox brings out the hunting blade, and the first hunter is chosen, which, of course, is Grave. Grave chooses the edition of the game called Roaming Rooms, which gives players 10 minutes to hide first. Rowan tells Genevieve to wait for him in the foyer. She waits for him until there's 2 minutes left of the 10 minutes that they had the chance to hide. And when he doesn't show, she exits towards the hedge maze and hides herself somewhere in the center of the maze. Not the smartest thing, considering it's freezing cold outside. About an hour later, after she hides herself, she hears footsteps, and her ring heats up. So she knows that kind of Grave is probably near. He was following her footprints in the snow. Also not smart. Tracks.
Which she takes accountability for. She's like, damn it, I'm a dumbass.
Yeah. She's like, oh, shit. So she runs away from her initial hiding spot and pretty much hides behind, like, a lattice that gets the house. Like, she's hiding behind that. Grave walks by her and just instinctively starts stabbing through the lattice a couple times, but Genevieve ends up dodging all of them. And then she pretty much leaves unscathed. She was okay. But yeah. He's just like...
He's literally like just... Hey, I mean, he's being smart, right?
Yeah.
It's like, it is what it is.
Because he almost got her.
Yeah. In chapter 19, once Genevieve escapes from behind the lattice, she runs into Rowan, who's been looking for her, and they go back to his room. He says that the reason why he was so late is that he needed to do one last thing before Knox did a final sweep of the guests being cleared from the manor. So another thing about this version of the game, Roaming Rooms, is that players need to change the room they are hiding in every 4 hours. Yeah. We find out the hunting blade is the only thing that can really kill them, although players can slow each other down by any means.
They have to stab each other in the heart, too, to kill each other. Yeah.
So Rowan pulls a panel off of the wall of his closet that leads to another bathroom, and it's Graves' bathroom for some reason, which also leads to his bedroom. So they decide to hide in there for the next 3 hours, and they end up playing a game called Two Truths and a Lie. And Rowan goes first, and his lie was that he's never had sexual relations with someone in his own bedroom. So he a freak, just not in his own space. In chapter 20, Genevieve is distracting herself from boredom. I think she's like in the bathroom doing something. She's like arranging shit and like just kind of keeping herself occupied. But Rowan comes in to tell her that Grave is close by. He tells her that he will distract him while she runs. So once Grave enters, Umbra, his little fox familiar, makes a sound that lures Grave back out into the hallway. And then Rowan grabs his attention and starts running with him down the hall. Genevieve gets distracted by their brawl, and so Grave ends up seeing her and chasing after her. She's doing her best to avoid being stabbed in the dining room when Rowan appears again and starts fighting Grave. So Grave ends up stabbing Rowan in the arm, and then Rowan throws the dagger across the corridor, and then the 4 hours are over.
But he's burnt when that happens. Because they can't they can't grab the knife if they're not the hunter.
Yeah.
It like burns them. A scene that makes me laugh in this chapter is Grave. So she runs into the dining room. She's on the other side of the table. And he comes in and he's like, you know, I've done this plenty of times and I find it much easier if I just jump on the fucking table. He's like, I'm not about to run around.
Yeah. Like, we're not doing all that shit. And yeah, those were the last 10 chapters. So chapter 11 through 20. Any thoughts? Now we've entered the games. We've gotten kind of a taste of Rowan's personality. Any thoughts?
Yep. I like Rowington.
Yeah. He's great. He's great. I think it's I forgot what I was saying. Oh, when I was listening, I kept imagining the movie. Did you watch Hide and Seek?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So it's literally that. Hide and Seek is this horror thriller, I guess you could say, film.
Okay.
Of a girl who
Ready or Not.
Is it Ready or Not?
Actual title, but they play hide and seek.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry. It's called Ready or Not. But they play hide and seek.
I like that movie.
And so it's a woman that marries into this family, and
It's
they
literally
have
the book. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, you're literally just probably the book.
No, it literally is.
It is.
It's like their family tradition.
It's but the family tradition is that they have to hunt the bride, and she has to survive.
Okay.
And if she survives, then she's like welcome into the family.
Oh, okay.
Because they have other significant others that have also played and survived.
Yeah, and she has to survive until dawn or some shit like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyways,
But she ends up killing the whole family.
Oh.
yeah, because like
She's
other
like, "Fuck
things
this family."
transpire and whatever.
Yeah.
And there's hella people hunting her. It's like fucking 12 motherfuckers like coming at her, and they're in this big ass manor. So the whole time I was like, this is that movie.
Yeah.
In a way. Like that's what I was picturing in my mind the whole time.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's just not a curse.
Yeah, less magic.
Yeah.
It's
Just
less
hide and
magic,
seek.
but it's because they made a pact with a devil, I think. Like they made a pact with some type of witchery, whatever, so that they could keep their wealth. And there's a reason why they play hide and seek. And it's like if they don't kill the bride, then they lose all. Then they go into poverty. So there's like a reason behind it.
Yeah, it's literally this book.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
Cool.
in a way.
Well, I thought there was a funny moment when I think it was when the game started. Maybe there was one of the spectators was like egging Genevieve on to like put on a show for the spectators, and they were like, "If you guys put on a show, I'll vote you for favored." And she said, the spectator said, "I want to see if it's true that he's got 5 piercing in the head of his." And she goes, "Choke and die."
The guy's pierced everywhere.
He's literally pierced and tattooed all over.
Everywhere.
Okay. So chapter 21. Genevieve and Rowan move rooms. They run into Ellen, who is coming from a room called an enchanted room. So enchanted rooms are special rooms with different landscapes, but they hold these tokens that allow you to have immunity for 1 round of the hunt. So if you complete the game within that room and you get a token, then you can use it for a certain round to not have to play.
But there's only, the entrance is the only exit.
Yeah.
So depending on which game they're playing, for at least Rowan, he's like, it's not smart for us to go in there until like the right time.
Right. Because
all the other ones have like trapdoors and whatever.
other things that you can get out through. So Rowan explains how he doesn't like those rooms because they can be dangerous even if they don't look like it, and because there is only one way in and one way out. He takes her to the library where they enter a hidden room via a turning bookshelf. In this room, there's also a trapdoor that takes you to and from the kitchen. Rowan tells her more about his mother and his desire to find a cure so that he can free himself and his siblings from Nox. He asks her about Pharaoh, why she was writing letters to his father. She explains the letter thing, but doesn't dive deep into Pharaoh, except insinuating that they were lovers at some point. And then they kind of have a little flirtatious moment until the bells ring for them to change rooms.
Isn't this the alcohol, the bar room?
I think that's
Where,
when they come back a second time, maybe. Or maybe it's this one. I don't know.
because this is where he's like, oh, let's have a drink and shoot. And then they're talking about like, oh, when you're locked in there, like some of them might have urine in it.
Yeah.
And then she's like, what
"No."
the fuck?
Yeah.
But then she's also like, I don't drink whiskey.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, why? And that's how he finds out. Like it reminds her of somebody, so he's trying to play that.
Yeah.
I think
that
it
information
is.
out there.
Yeah. Because then later they address it like 2 more times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In chapter 22, Genevieve and Rowan leave the hidden library room into the kitchen, where they encounter Wellington busting through the kitchen doors, injured. Rowan takes himself and Genevieve into the dumbwaiter to hide. Grave comes in shortly after, and they sit in the dumbwaiter hiding, watching as Rowan's brother Wellington fights him off. You can tell how much Rowan hates watching everyone have to fight each other. Shortly after they feel the dumbwaiter rising, they are being pulled up to the library by Grave. Grave stabs and punches Rowan again before going after Genevieve. He then I guess he stabs her into the bookshelf or something.
Yeah. It was like her plan to have him stab her in
To the shelf, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
because there was only 6 minutes left.
Yes.
And so she was like, if I can hold him off up until the round is over, then I can get away from him because she can.
And she had him stab her in the shoulder because then he tries to rip it out because he can't do anything without it. And so she's just like getting the shit ripped out of her shoulder just to save time.
Yeah. He's like, all right, gotta stall. She's like, all right, gotta stall. So when Grave tries to stab her again, she ends up turning invisible because now I guess
The round's over.
The time runs out, right? So she has her magic back. And then she ends up passing out and waking up in Rowan's room. And we find out that Rowan had bribed Ellen to heal her. Ellen is the only sibling who has really good healing capabilities.
I found the scene sad where so they're in the dumbwaiter and he kills Wellington like kind of
I think he like snapped.
barbarically. Like he's
he's like slits his throat, right? Or
yeah. He's just like killing him like crazy. And then she like, you know, she reaches for it because they're really close together. She reaches for his hand and then he like, because his eyes are closed and he like lets go. But then he's like, he grabs her hand again and he's like, fuck. I was like, oh.
Sweet. Sweet, sweet.
Yeah, the guy shows up and he's like all this blood. They have black blood, apparently.
I think devils or demons
Wraiths.
in general all have black blood.
Yeah, he's just covered in black.
Anybody that's immortal, I think, has black blood. Which, if you remember from the first book, when that Cade guy made Ophelia bleed and she was red because she was mortal. Yeah. Yes, that was kind of sad. I feel like that would be pretty tough to watch all the time.
Yeah. When Genevieve wakes up from being in a coma, she has a description of Rowington. She said, Genevieve wasn't sure what was sexier, his perfectly sculpted abdominals, the tattoos swirling across his skin that disappeared below the waistline of his trousers, or the golden hoops pierced through his nipples and belly button. She realized she wanted to bite him.
Again.
Which you already did in the ass. He just like, when I picture Rowington, someone like in a punk rock. Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Like,
I used to be obsessed with like, what is it? The
Metro Station.
The Metro Station. Yep. There was a drummer I was really obsessed with in a band called There for Tomorrow. His name is Chris Camarada. My friend went to Warped Tour and she got a video of him saying happy birthday to me. And I still have that video.
He reminds me of a screamo band called Bring Me the Horizon. And that's literally how I imagine him most of the book.
I don't imagine him like that. That's funny. I imagine his hair clean cut.
Let's see what
What
TikTok has to say.
what the people think. That he is fine. That's how I would picture him.
Yeah. He kind of looks like Justin Baldoni in this one.
Oh, yeah.
But like a little younger.
Yeah. A little less.
And I love him too. All right, next game.
Okay.
Next round.
Chapter 23. Everyone's eating in the dining room except Wellington because he's dead.
Yeah. And that's how we find out
Yeah.
that that's Ellen's twist.
Yes.
Twin.
Because she's like taking it a little extra hard, right?
She's taking it extra hard.
And we find out too that he always goes easy on her in the games. Like he gives her a pass. When it's his turn, he never goes after her. So she's also like, what the fuck?
Yeah. He was the first one to die this time. Genevieve is like talking more with Sevington. This is where I start to like Sevington a little bit more, like their conversations that they have with each other. One thing about Sevington is he's always sucking on a blood lollipop because he's like a blood wraith, I think. So he uses that to like replenish himself.
He's a blood wraith. Ellen is a light wraith. Are the rest shadow wraiths?
Covington is a blood wraith too.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
They say Rowington, Remington, and
Grave. No.
No, Gravington's a special one. I think, or
yeah,
something.
he.
Well, they call him the Void or whatever. The fuck.
Yeah.
He
Yes.
gave himself the nickname.
So he's the powerful one,
Yeah.
and then the twins and Wellington are shadow. Ellington is the light, and then the other one.
Blood.
Yeah.
The other two are blood.
Blood. Yeah.
Oh, it is a Void wraith.
Yeah,
I wrote that
Void Wraith. Which for some reason I imagine like a Dementor for some reason. So after kind of her and Sevington's conversation, you know, he tells her that no matter how the hunt plays out, things will be irreparable. So she needs to be sure she wants to win. She's kind of harping on what Seven says and realized that she really had nothing to live for, but she now is determined to live for the purpose of helping the Silver family and find a way to save them all. So that's kind of her goal now. She's kind of really grown fond of the family, essentially. Just like the wife she is with her family. So she decides to rummage through the library to search about Crimson Rot before she is interrupted by Knox, who pretty much threatens her that her and Rowan better put on a show for his patron soon or else. Once he leaves, she is then approached by Grave, who tells her that the marriage loophole of the game doesn't sit right with him, and that he fears if Rowan can really leave, then the rest of them will get all the consequences of his actions. And then he shows her what a void race can do, and he pulls out a sword, and time freezes. So he essentially can slow down time or stop time. Yeah. Chapter 24. Genevieve reminisces about her past with Faro as the time is still. They were in Genevieve's past, her and Faro were supposed to go to a ball together, but he told her that he can't go with her anymore because his mom found out about her family. So her family is necromancers. She mentioned engagement to him, and he says that he would never marry her and that she's only a fun time. He said he's marrying the niece of his father's friend, and then as we figure that out, Grave ends up bringing time back to normal. As he's about to plunge a blade into her, Genevieve channels all her magic and makes other things, including Grave, momentarily disappear. So we find out that she can project her magic now. So not just have the magic done onto herself, but she can project it. And then Rowan tells her that Rowan comes to interrupt what's happening, and he tells her that she just projected her spectre magic, which they've never heard of before. Rowan gets defensive over Genevieve and says that she is his.
He said she's mine.
Before Grave disappears into a black portal. And then Genevieve's like, don't ever fucking say that again. Like, I want the person who says it to me
to mean it. Yeah. She's scarred.
But he meant it.
But he meant it. All right, now we're getting to round 2 of the hunt. So in chapter 25, Genevieve rummages around Rowan's desk and finds a drawer full of letters he never sent his family, as well as a letter addressed to Grimm Manor. She doesn't get a chance to look at it before Rowan comes back into the room, and they, rest until Seven and Coven come to disrupt them, and they play card games until the next hunt begins. Wholesome. At midnight, they enter the ballroom, and Knox appears for the choosing ceremony. So the next person chosen is Remington, Rowington's twin. And he chooses the game Random Starts. So pretty much like in the blink of an eye, they're all transported to a random area of the house. Genevieve is transported to the butler's pantry. So she goes to Rowan's room to try to find him, and she encounters him, but it's at this point she realizes he's bleeding from his lip, and she realizes there's something off about him, and then the ring on her finger starts to heat up, and she realizes it's Remington, his twin. So he was trying to make it seem like he was Rowington.
Yeah, she was like, what happened to your lip? You're bleeding. He's like, I bit myself when he transported me.
Meanwhile, Remington just like, let me just stick this shit through my lip.
Yeah, literally. She's like, is that what you just did?
He ends up slicing her. She then grabs the fake piercing from his lip and yanks it out. She's like, give me that shit. And then when he drops the blade out of shock, she kicks it and runs away. And that's how round 2 of the hunt begins. All right, in chapter 26, Genevieve runs away to the hidden room in the library and passes out. And then when she wakes up, Rowan's there, so he ended up finding her. They decide to leave through the library and encounter Remington again. They fight before they escape to an enchanted room, and the room they end up choosing is the landscape of like a meadow. So lots of grass, creeks, ponds, that kind of stuff. They play more Two Truths and a Lie. So during this entire time they're playing Two Truths and a Lie, they really kind of start to get to know each other more. That's kind of like the significance of that, right? So as they're kind of walking around playing the game, Genevieve trips over a stone, triggering some fish to flow out in the stream. And they realize this is part of the game to get an immunity token in this room. So they're going to try to figure out how to solve it. So in chapter 27, Genevieve ends up telling Rowan about what happened with Faro after he asks. And we find out that Faro pretty much tried to burn her in a parade in a parade float with his friend after catching them in the act. So in an attempt to get back at Pharaoh for all the things that he said to her and breaking up with her and saying that he'll never get married to her, she was like, well, I'm going to go fuck your best friend. So she did that in the parade float, and he found them and then lit it on fire.
Yep.
And so that's kind of like the nightmare she has all the time about her burning in the fire. And yeah.
First of all, I literally wrote that. First of all, this relationship was illegal 'cause she was 15.
Maybe not in those times, though.
Regardless,
1800s.
don't matter. And he obviously was her first romantic anything.
Yeah.
And then he left and she was heartbroken. Then he comes back when she's finally 16. And then he's trying to get her back. And she finally gives into it 3 months later. And then he makes her all these promises. And then that's when he's like, you are not worthy of marriage or some shit like that because she's from a necromancer family. And then she gets really drunk. She drinks whiskey.
Yeah.
And then
Which is why she doesn't like whiskey.
puts herself in a compromising position with his friend. And then he burns them both alive.
Yep.
And then all she needs to do to survive is sleep for a couple days. I mean, to recover.
Yeah.
But the friend,
The friend was like pretty badly burned. And
Yeah.
he's given hush money to his family from Pharaoh
Yeah.
To
not say anything about what he did.
So Pharaoh was a shitty dude. Yeah. So chapter 27 is all about Genevieve's past.
There's a quote that he tells her because she thinks that she's in a dark place. She's constantly looking for the light and blah, blah, blah. So he says, the light isn't something that you need to chase, Genevieve. The light is wherever you are.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I wrote it's cute.
very sweet.
Yeah. Okay. Chapter 28. Pretty much in this chapter, they figure out some sort of pattern with the fish, and it ends up releasing a crimson fish with the token. Rowan orders Umbra to get it to go fetch the fish, but when she does, the fish in the stream turn into piranha and start attacking her. Rowan gets caught in a cage on the bridge, so Genevieve jumps into the stream to save Umbra. She gets attacked by the piranha in the process, but she successfully saves Umbra and the token, and then she passes out from the blood loss. And then in moments of flittering unconsciousness, she hears voices trying to save her. So this is Ellen coming to the rescue again. Miss Girl is always almost bleeding out to death.
And Ellen's like, fuck, again?
At least she doesn't have issues with her clothing. Let's just say that. The
skirts?
fucking skirt.
She did. The skirts were mentioned a lot in the beginning, and I'd write that down. She said skirts a lot, but it wasn't a problem.
Okay, chapter 29. She wakes up. Oh, shrine. I remember this chapter.
He shows gratitude.
Yeah, he sure
for
does.
saving Umbra.
She wakes up to find Rowan against her in bed. So they're laying side by side next to each other. And then he pleasures her as a way to show his gratitude for saving Umbra. She goes to take a bath. She gets a nightmare about the river, and he helps her. She's distraught about her hair, and he ends up helping her untangle it. We figure out he's very patient.
and tender.
Yeah.
I really like that scene when he's just combing her hair out.
And that's when she finally has a breakdown. Is when he's like, we might have to cut your hair. And she starts bawling.
Yeah.
Because that's her final straw. She's like, you're not cutting my fucking hair.
Yeah. This is who I am. And then she ends up telling him that any more touching they do has to be more for the show so that they can win favored.
So she doesn't get feelings.
Yes.
Because he's out here using shadow restraints and shadow dildos.
Basically. Basically.
She's like, whoa, girl's gonna catch a feeling.
How can you not? How can you not? And then she realizes it's her birthday the next day.
I wrote down, she's an Aries. That makes a lot of sense.
The author took that into consideration.
They're very fiery, argumentative.
She tells him that so they decided to throw her birthday celebration the night before because They don't know if she's going to survive the next hunt. And all she asks for Rowan is to make her the favored or to help her win the favored. That would be her birthday gift. And that they are no longer meant to have intimate moments unless they're for viewers.
Yeah.
Because she knows herself. She's starting to catch feelings.
Yeah. It's got to be strictly like business at this point.
What chapter are you on?
30? We're about to be on chapter 30.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I was like, there's a highlight that I have, but it's later.
Okay. So in chapter 30, her and Rowan then go to the foyer outside the dining hall to put on a show for Knox's patrons. At first, Rowan uses his shadows, but then Genevieve gets carried away and pulls him in for a passionate kiss where he finally starts to put his actual hands on her. And then just as Rowan got down on his knees,
The fucking family are like, hey.
Seven's like, with this fucking lollipop.
Seven, Ellen, and Gravington interrupt their show, and then they all head to the dining room for Genevieve's birthday celebration. In quotation marks, I said Seven is funny as fuck. So I don't know what he said in there, but apparently I found it really funny. And yeah, those were chapters 21 through 30. Any particular thoughts on what has transpired?
I feel like I don't know. I just like him more and more in the book. I find him very, he gives her essentially what she wants, right? Like she wants to be fucked, but he also too remembers what she says. So he's like, I'm not just going to give in because what you're asking, because also everything else you've said before too, right? Where, what's the other guy's name? Blackwell was just like, let me at it.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I like Rowington. He's very like he seems like a man of integrity.
Even the bathroom scene too, right? She was like, you're not gonna watch me bathe. So he's like, okay, well, it's either me or Umbra that's going in there with you because I can't have Grave like end up just showing up.
Yeah.
Since it's the walls, right?
Right.
The passage that goes to his room. So then Umbra goes in there. And then when she's screaming in the bathtub, he protects her, and she notices too that he's not like looking over her. He's just paying attention to her face, not looking at her naked body, gives her a towel, wraps her up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's a gentleman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a gentleman.
She's more so the one that's like very straightforward on like this sex part.
Yeah.
And he's like a gentleman. And yeah, I like him a lot. Very cute. Seven, when they're, making out in the hallway.
More than making out.
Seven
Well, he
says,
almost went
happy
down on her.
birthday indeed.
Oh yeah. Happy birthday indeed.
And then Ellen goes, interesting.
Yeah.
I like Sevington. Well, I know we find out more about it in the later chapters, but I like Sevington too because he's like he's also like a one woman kind of guy, i.e. his ex. Like he was very much in love with Gwen. Gwen. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't participating in the masquerade. He was just watching everyone
Yeah.
again.
Like, okay. And I was like, oh, I like you.
Yeah. I don't know why, but I picture him looking like Chishia. I don't know why. Not like less Asian, obviously, to look like the family, but it's kind of how I pictured him.
Sevington?
He reminds me of, I forgot his name. He was in Vampire Diaries. He ends up dating Bonnie. Oh, fuck. But he's like the English vampire. And that's how I picture him.
I don't know how I picture him, but I do know that they said that Sevington's technically the most handsome one. Okay. Chapter 31. They celebrate Genevieve's birthday in a strange silver family kind of way, where everyone gets to participate like it's their birthday. One thing they do is they all spill secrets for the chance to stab a knife into their father.
And Barrington's just like, yep, this is
my punishment for getting my family into this situation. I wrote down that I thought this chapter was fun. I really liked this chapter for some reason because I think we kind of get to see
like sibling
like
bonding.
interaction. Yeah, and everyone was kind of funny. So Rowan's secret was that he admits he kills Cedric of Daemonica, so the one that was harassing Genevieve. And that Seven helped him hide the body amongst the vampires. And apparently that was the most juiciest secret, so he gets to stab his father, and then he walks away.
Wait, all the other ones, though, were funny. Did you write those down?
I didn't.
Let me see if I can get to it.
One of them was like Ellen got proposed to by someone. I forget the others. Stop.
Oh, hold on.
Stop.
So, hold on. I'm almost there.
If you guys hear snoring, that's my dog Duke right here.
So, yeah, so whoever gets the best secret is the one that gets to go first to stab. They said Ellen got proposed by Gareth Serpentine at the masquerade. And she gets mad because she's like, Sevington, you little fucking gossip. She's like, who told you that? He's like, I don't give away my sources. And so they're all like, oh, yay, like she's getting hitched on the next one. She might have it for the next hunt. She might be able to get out. She's like, I never said yes. And then it says that, God, I think I fucking lost it.
I think I found where you were.
Mm-hmm.
Coven has been fucking Nessa Serpentine.
Okay.
Which the Serpentines, that's from the same family that she got proposed to.
But she's like the heir
Yeah.
of like their
Yes.
all their
One
shit.
thing about Covington is he's fucking everybody.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah, because Barrington is like, do you know what the Serpentines would do to you if they knew that you were messing around with Nessa? Gareth, not going to know. Get on with your secret, Coven. Grave stopped visiting Mother months ago. Was Coven's.
He's like, I knew you followed me, you fucking bastard.
Yes. Should tell you. Remy's the one who stole the stash of blood from Seven. And Seven's like, I knew it. Traded it for Demon's Breath.
Remy passes. Like he doesn't get his own secret.
Remy passed.
He's just like pass.
Genevieve says no. Genevieve says no thanks. And then Rowan says, I killed Cedric Wrathblade at the masquerade, and Seven helped me get rid of his body. And yeah, Rowan wins.
Yep. And Rowan wins. Okay. So the evening ends, and then Rowan and Genevieve go back to their room to get ready for the new hunt at midnight. They play Two Truths and a Lie again at Rowan's request. And once he Genevieve asks why he has letters from Grimm Manor stashed in his desk. So she pretty much tells him, hey, I found your fucking letters. And then she doesn't get her answer because the midnight clock rings. So they have to go to the ballroom.
So there's a quote in here. She's talking about so one of the questions that she asks him is, do you all really hate your father as much as you all seem to? So he's trying to tell her, like, it's not black and white. He's like, sometimes I do, not because he made a rush mistake in a moment of fear for his wife's life, but because he can't even be bothered to be around. He's too ashamed of what he's forced us into. But mistake or not, when you lock your family into a curse like the hunt, you should at least look them in the eye more than twice a year. So then she tries to say, my mother never told us about our father, how she met him in Phantasma, and the curses that she put upon our family or the debt she accrued. And then he says a quote. He says, it's never easy to realize that the people who are supposed to protect us are the ones who can create the deepest scars. I was like, that's deep, which is facts. And then the thing about her asking about the letters. So then he keeps asking. She didn't want to ask her last two questions. That was the only question she wanted to ask. And so he's like, hey, you still have two more questions. She keeps avoiding it. And then she's like, I'm not sure if I have anything else to ask tonight. He's like, lie, you are a never-ending well of questions.
Correct.
So one of the questions she wants to ask is, why aren't you having as hard of a time with just fucking as I am? But that's what she's thinking. And then all of a sudden she goes, why do you have the letters from Grimm Manor hidden in your desk? She's like, my letters. And then he's like, I was like, oh. She wasn't supposed to be going through his shit.
Okay, round 3 of the hunt. So chapter 32. They head to the choosing ceremony, and Ellen cashes in her immunity token that she received from Rowan. Oh, yes. So when Genevieve got injured from the fish from trying to get the immunity token, Rowan gives it to Ellen in exchange for her to save her. So now Ellen is cashing that in as payment for healing Genevieve. So she gets to sit out this round.
She's like, I'm going to take a bubble bath.
Yeah, y'all have fun.
Don't come into my room.
Yeah. Don't hide in my room. The Blade chooses 7 as the next hunter, and then he chooses the game Solitary Confinement. 7 says happy birthday, and you're welcome to Genevieve, and that this was his gift to her. The players have 10 minutes to find a room until 7 starts. Rowan at this moment isn't speaking to Genevieve, but she makes him, and they end up discussing the letters, I think. We find out that Rowan was initially writing letters to Grimm Manor, hoping for Tessie or Ophelia in order to help find a cure for his mother. Genevieve gets upset, admits she's starting to like him, and is frustrated.
She's like upset because
He preaches about the importance of truth, but that he hasn't given it to her.
Yeah. Well, and she's upset too because she constantly has the complex that she's like been neglected in light of Ophelia from her mom, because Ophelia has always been kind of the one to take precedence over her in her childhood. And so I think when he says that he was hoping the letters would go to Ophelia, she felt like a kind of way, but he was like, I didn't even know you existed.
Yeah. I mean, it was purely just from a researching standpoint that he tried to contact them.
Right.
So he ends up, telling her she's right, but that he's glad that it was her that he met, even though he should have tried harder to make sure she wasn't caught up in the games. They go to an enchanted room with a gloomy forest. I literally picture like a bunch of black burnt trees in this room.
It has mirrors everywhere too.
There's mirrors everywhere, and they all hold twisted reflections and versions of Genevieve. Genevieve insists if Rowan wants to gain her trust again, that he tells her everything he knows about his mother and Crimson Rock, because she's also trying to do her own research on how to save them. In chapter 33, Rowan and Genevieve decide to put on a sex show for the patrons in the enchanted room.
Very kinky
Literally
shit.
down on all fours. After they are done, 7 shows up covered in black blood, and he's grinning ear to ear. He's with his wolf familiar, and Rowan tells Genevieve to run as the wolf lunges towards her. In chapter 34, she starts running from the wolf and decides to climb up a tree to escape. Umbra helps her. She's proven to be a good partner. Ever since Genevieve saved her from the piranha, Umbra's gotten really attached to Genevieve. So
she won't like leave her side.
Yeah. That's so cute. I literally picture... Do you guys know Pokemon? I literally picture Umbreon. Yep. This is Umbra to me.
Yep. She's also crossing this branch to like get to the mirror thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, they spent the whole book saying how thick and curvy she is, but she can just tightrope across a fucking branch. Okay.
Strong ass branch. So, as she's climbing the tree, 7 catches up to her, slowly trailing behind her. So he's kind of just like taunting her. He could really catch up to her at any time, but he's kind of taunting her. She notices a mirror with her reflection that has a mind of its own and is not exactly following her movements. So she knows that this mirror is a little bit off from the other ones. So she jumps to that tree the mirror is on and goes through it before 7 catches up to her. She faces her imposter self, whose identity now starts to fade to reveal a shadow apparition type creature. She sees the token in its chest and rips the token from it as the creature is clawing at her face. Once she grabs the token, she goes back through the mirror and ends up back at the entrance of the enchanted room. Rowan meets her there, where he tells her he's been pacing for hours waiting for her after Seven gave up on trying to kill him. So her encounter through the mirror was only like a couple minutes, but in like the outside world, it was like a few hours. And now I think her face is all fucked up.
I think she got blinded in an eye.
She got, it was like, a full scratch.
Yeah. One thing about Miss Genevieve, no hate, but she really cares about her appearance. So I'm sure that's very like traumatic for her. Clearly, she wanted to give up because of her hair. In chapter 35, Rowan heals her, but tells her it will likely leave a scar. She has a pretty bad mark from her eyebrow to her chin. Seven mentions how him and Coven had a bet going about if Rowan would end up sleeping with her or not, and that Rowan knew about it. So Genevieve naturally gets upset and goes out to the hedge maze, and then Rowan finds her to explain. He throws out the idea of them going somewhere to forget that the hunt exists, since they get to sit out of the next round for finding the immunity token. So he's going to take her on a date to hell, pretty much. He's like, let's go there. How romantic.
It's the only way they can get out of that house.
Yeah, literally.
So round 4 of the hunt is their immunity, so we really don't get to see what happens in the house. But Genevieve and Rowan do go to hell with Nox's help. They encounter a demon who wants Genevieve's eyes, and Rowan ends up decapitating him. Another touch my woman and you die situation.
They have to go to the third purgatory or the third
circle,
whatever. Yeah, because that's where Nox, in Greed, that's where Nox's estate is. And they all live on his estate when they're in hell.
Yep. On their way there, they stop by a jewel shop before heading to Nox's estate, which is in the third circle of hell, Greed, to visit Rowan's mother. So that's why he takes her there.
And his siblings.
And the siblings that are
dead.
Dead.
Or that died in the game.
In chapter 37, they enter Nox's estate and find Wellington and Remington. They head to Rowan's mother's room, and Genevieve ends up meeting his mom, Vera. He introduces her as his wife, and she is very happy, but also very sick. And it really hurts Rowan to see her like that. When they exit the room, Rowan gives Genevieve the gift he bought back at the jewel shop, which is a cuff bracelet. They hug and kiss, and as Genevieve was about to say something, they hear a scream in the castle, or in the estate. But what did the cuff say something, or was it just diamonds and...
Yeah, it said
something, right?
Inside, nestled against a black velvet cushion, was a thin golden cuff between a line of white diamonds on one side and black diamonds on the other. There was an inscription, "The light is wherever you are."
Yeah. So cute.
So cute.
Justin. Hope you're listening. So yes, after the gift exchange, they hear a scream inside the estate. So Genevieve and Rowan, in this next chapter, Genevieve and Rowan go towards where they hear the scream, and they find Seven blistering and screaming. So apparently that's what happens when the hunting blade goes through their hearts. They're transported into hell, and they're like all
fucked up,
bubbly. That's the way I can describe it. Rowan is then called by Nox to follow him. Genevieve stays behind to comfort Seven, and they bond while he sits there. I really like this part. I was like, Seven. And so they bond while he sits there trying to recover and heal. An hour later, Rowan still isn't back, but Nox comes to take Genevieve to his treasure trove. He tells her she must bargain that she will not remember her time in the trove, only the things she selects before she enters. She agrees and steps through a mirror to the trove. Nox shows her around a bunch of items and ends up pulling out a blue liquid, the cure for Rowan's mother. Nox wants Genevieve to convince Salem to go to the other side, to go see his father, essentially, and that he will let her take the potion as her gift for favor, so that way she can heal their mother. Genevieve initially declines, as she states she will not betray her sister like that, but then Nox tells her they won't find a cure because she will never remember one exists because of the bargain before she entered the trove. He then tells her he's the one that made Crimson Rot. So this is all his doing pretty much. She still declines. Nox crushes the cure potion and she leaves the trove. Rowan comes and finds her and says they have to go back. Genevieve doesn't remember anything that happened. She's kind of like, why the fuck am I here? So she doesn't, we figure out that she really doesn't remember her time in there. They go through the portal back to Enchantra. Rowan is aloof. He's on edge. He's not answering any of Genevieve's questions. He's kind of giving her the cold shoulder. He says that Wellington went to Nocturnia, where the King of Devils is, to get info, but it doesn't appear to be good info, although he doesn't divulge what it is. He says he never should have brought her there. They go to bed, and Genevieve feels like something is very wrong. Yeah. So their time in hell wasn't all great. Who would have thought, huh? Who would have thought hell is not where you go to have a fun time? Now we're at round 5 of the hunt. Chapter 39. Rowan still isn't speaking to Genevieve. The next hunt begins, and the blade picks Ellen as the hunter, who chooses the game Birds and Stones. Rowan and Genevieve get into a fight and separate. After sleeping in the snowy labyrinth for a while, Genevieve encounters Ellen in the house. Rowan comes to save her, and they go hide in the hidden room in the library. Genevieve asks him why he's been acting so strange, and he tells her that Nox offered him a deal that if he turned on Genevieve, he could get his freedom, but he declined it. And he makes a confession on his feelings for her in this chapter.
He snaps his sister's neck. This is what he does to get her away.
Because she tries to trick them, Ellen, because she's like... Something about like how she's like the baby sister and she like tries to trick them into like getting them to come.
Yeah, she uses like her baby sister status to like, and she's like try to get them to empathize, and she's like, "Fuck you."
It's like,
yeah. And the rule of this game is that if they end up, they have to stick together. So like Genevieve and Rowington always are together, but if another sibling ends up in the same hiding spot as them, now they have to travel together.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that it's like three's too much of a crowd, right? Like you don't want to be a part of that. And he says, this is when he's talking to her, giving her his, his feelings. There's a quote, and he says...
I was about to be like giving her his dick.
That's in the next chapter. He gives her his dick. Okay. I'm going to read this last page. So they're playing Two Truths and a Lie. Again, that's how, that's just their thing, how they bond. So she says, you're such a self-centered bastard. I deserve to be the center of my own story, and I was not made for you. Hold on. Why does she yell at him about this first? Okay. She said, because he didn't go through with Nox's deal. She says, you barely even know me, Rowan. He offered you eternal freedom, and then he said, nothing is eternal except for the fact that you've ruined me. All I've ever wanted was freedom from this wretched game, and I didn't even hesitate for a second to give it up. She says, but why didn't you tell me? You promised me you were. He was like, because I was trying to protect you. Can't you see that? I'm convinced you were made by the King of Devils himself to torture me for my sins. So he doesn't understand why she got there. And then she says, you're such a self-centered bastard. I deserve to be the center of my own story. I was not made for you. And he goes, true truth and a lie. So she's like trying to figure it out. She was like, okay, he's a self-centered bastard. That's the truth. She deserves to be the center of her own story. That's the truth. And I was not made for you. That's the lie. So she's like, I was not made for you. He's like, then maybe I was made for you. How else have you managed to get so deep under my skin in such a short amount of time? Why is that every time I try to imagine what it would be like to sever our vows, I feel like the hunting blade is piercing my heart. 15 years I've lived for everyone else around me. I've withered away in this damn place until you showed up and you made me laugh. You gave me hope. So then she's over here thinking their vows, which was my soul is your soul, my blood is your blood eternally. And he says to her, he goes, shadows can only be in the presence of light. He told her the words agonize. I worry when you leave, there will be no one left to see me. And I was like, oh, that's so sad. What a tortured soul.
He's such a poet.
He doesn't feel like
because his whole life is just like doing this fucking game, killing his siblings, and then trying to figure out how to release them from him. So she's the only light in his life.
Right. But they don't see why he is, because he never goes to visit them, right? He's by himself for a whole motherfucking year because they're all in hell. Yet he can go visit them, but he is trying his best to make sure that they all get out of this curse. So it's like they're not understanding of that. Well, especially Grave. He's like, fuck you. And then, so I feel like it comes from that too. Like, it's like, I have good intentions.
Yeah.
You know,
I think
Nobody
the
else
one that
believes me.
probably hurts him the most is probably Remington, because they were close as twins.
Oh, yeah.
And now Remington's like not understanding.
Yeah.
Or like kind of has disdain for him. It's probably hard because like in general, twins tend to be, for the most part, they tend to be pretty close, closer than a lot of other siblings are, right? There's just something about that twin.
Oh, was I telling you about this? The thing that I saw on TikTok or I was telling one of you too, I can't remember, but it got on our algorithm. This was like a month ago or a month and a half ago. And it was a trend. Why is everything a trend now? I don't know. But it was a trend of twins losing their other twin. So it'd be like, oh, this was when we first met. So it's like them as babies.
Oh, yeah.
And then it was like, oh, and then this was us growing up. And this is where we're at now. And it's like one of them at the other's funeral. And I'm like, oh, like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah. You're like, I thought this was going to be happy.
And there was so many people doing it. And
Yeah,
I was
I know.
like, oh my God.
It was like our
You're like,
first
I can't take
picture
this.
together, our last picture together.
Yeah. And I'm like, that's so sad. I mean,
In a
I'm sure
casket.
anybody losing anybody is sad, but it's like your twin. Like nobody actually knows that unless you're a twin and you go through that.
Yeah.
Because imagine too, like you guys look identical for the most part if you're identical twins, and then seeing yourself, like literally looking at yourself,
Oh, I can't.
and
Dead.
you're dead.
Yeah.
That's probably fucks with your brain.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's wild.
All right. In chapter 40, Rowan and Genevieve fuck until they're interrupted by Coven.
Again.
They sure
Like,
do.
Fucking A. So now they are all forced to stay together due to the rules of the game.
And they're also arguing. Like he's pissed
Yeah.
that he's in there.
Yeah.
And she's like, let's play a game, guys.
Yeah. So as time was about to run out, Ellen ends up finding them in this little hidden library room, and she ends up killing Coven. So he's out of the game now. Rowan and Genevieve go back to his room to spend time together, and as Genevieve is sleeping, Rowan leaves to go find Ellen. So he's kind of coming up with a plan of some sort at this point. Yeah. I think I really liked, which I guess you would call it the center part of the book. This is my favorite part of the entire book. Because this is when the banter like between the siblings happens more. Their relationship also blossoms a little bit more. So this was like my
This is when she finds out about his penis ring. I'm sorry because I just got to the page. She goes, how long have you had it?
5?
Is it, he has 5?
No, remember one of the
The-
spectators said,
Oh,
Yeah,
I
it was like, I
asking.
wanted to
I
know.
don't know if he has 5.
He just has 1.
He just has 1.
Apparently it's at the tip. And she goes, how
For your
long have you
pleasure.
had it? Am I the first one who's, and he's like, seen it, licked it? Yes. And then this is when Covington is still alive. He's like, I can hear you whispering. Can you not talk about Rowan's cock anymore in my presence? I think I've suffered enough today. Enough for an eternity, really. And he's over there just drinking his whiskey.
I feel like this would make a really entertaining movie.
Oh yeah.
I
think
really
this would be a
hope
really good movie.
somebody gets this.
Yeah. Well, I keep seeing like,
But it sucks because then we're going to have to watch Ophelia's story first. I don't give a fuck about her story.
I think
I
the
like
babes
them.
would make a good movie.
Oh, 1,000. But if it doesn't do well, then we're not going to get a second one. That's the problem. They have to do well so that they can continue with the sequel.
I know I keep seeing things pop up on my Instagram where it's like, oh, this book's being someone picked up this book. I was like,
So
I don't
many
know what
fucking
this book
books.
is. Like, pick up the ones that I want.
It's a lot of
all the
romance.
fucking Colleen Hoover book.
Yeah.
All of her books.
Emily Henry.
Is Regretting You a Colleen Hoover book? That one
Yeah.
that just came out?
I
Is
really
it?
want to see that though.
I saw reviews and people were like, I don't know what the book is about, obviously. But they were like, so it's just a movie that it's cool to cheat on your significant other or something like that.
I just like the actors. That's why I want to see it.
It's out, right?
Yeah, it's out.
Yeah. It was in theaters or is. Yeah. All right, we're in the home stretch. These are the last 10 chapters plus an epilogue that apparently I didn't write. Chapter 41. Grave uses a portal to get into Rowan and Genevieve's room while she's sleeping. He attempts to kill her again. He states that he's confirmed with Knox that the only one person can be free of Enchantra and that the rest are doomed to play the game forever without a true winner. Rowan comes to the rescue with his shadows. Ellen falls behind, and they talk Grave down, and he retreats. Ellen now is on Rowan's side and is choosing to trust him. So whatever he went to go talk to her about, she's now conspiring with him.
Mm-hmm.
Then we enter round 6 of the hunt. Chapter 42, which is called Favored. Rowan and Genevieve get chosen as the hunter. Rowan stabs Ellen. She didn't put up any fight, as per her agreement with him. Then he convinces Grave to leave them alone until the final hunt. Grave agrees, and round 6 ends. Genevieve and Rowan spend some more peaceful time together before the next round. And that's kind of chapter 42. Round 7 of the hunt, the final match. So in chapter 43, they enter the ballroom for the final game. Knox tells Genevieve she is favored, and the thing she wants appears in her pocket. So all she has to do is think it, and then it appears in her pocket. He then tells them that today's last game is different, that if they end up killing Genevieve, then all family members will be free from Enchantra forevermore. He's lifted the enchantment that binds Rowan's life to hers, and he gives them back their magic this round. Rowan turns towards Genevieve smiling, saying that he's sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how round 7 starts.
I'm deeply sorry for what I'm about to do. I'd be like, bitch, what are you going to do?
In chapter 44, Genevieve runs towards the labyrinth maze before Rowan, Grave, and Knox appear in front of her. Rowan captures her, and they play 2 truths and a lie. While Knox is standing there like, what the fuck is going on? Why are they playing this game right now? Like,
He literally is like
grab her
ready for
already.
them. Yeah, he's like, let's go. I imagine, who is when Jafar in Aladdin, when he becomes the genie, and he's just like, trying to wait for shit to happen.
Yeah. He's like, let's get on with it. Amidst Knox's confusion, Grave stops Knox in time as she takes the soul lock, as Genevieve takes the soul lock from her pocket, which was the prize that she chose as being favored, and forces Rowan to stab her with the blade. Grave, Rowan, and Genevieve had devised this plan the night before about capturing her soul and having Grave convince Knox to lift certain restrictions of the game to make it more entertaining. So that was their plan all along. Mm-hmm. In chapter 45, this is pretty much Rowan captures her soul into the locket. And he's crying. She's dead.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially. Allegedly. And the pretty much last section of this book is called Back to the Beginning. So in chapter 46, Genevieve awakens in her room in New Orleans. Salem comes to see her and tells her that she had died and that 2 men delivered her corpse and locket with her soul in it. In order for Salem to revive her, he had to take away the memory of someone she loved. Ophelia comes home, and her and Genevieve reunite. Ophelia states she should start by reading the letter that Salem hands to her. She will receive one letter every week detailing the story about her, Rowan, and Enchantra, and then she starts to read the first letter. So Genevieve was delivered by Rowan and Grave back to her house in New Orleans with her soul in the locket. Her body was cold and dead, and then Salem revived her. But he had to take the memory of Rowan away.
Mm-hmm.
Genevieve awaits the last letter, in chapter 47, Genevieve is awaiting for the last letter, feeling guilty for feeling nothing at all regarding Rowan. The last letter comes along with a package that has the cuff bracelet in it that he gave her from their time in hell. She reads the last letter that explains the entire plan she came up with and how it played out. He was sad to know that when she woke up after Salem revived her, that she did not recognize him. He states that he knows she likely will still not get her memories back, but that he will continue to fight to get them back, and that his longing for her is eternal.
I got to read the last part of his letter because it's great. He says, Salmacius did exactly what you suspected he could, extracted your soul from the soul locket and returned it to your corporeal form. I don't think I've ever been in so much pain as I was in those moments before your heart started beating again. But then it did, and you woke up and you did not recognize me, and that was nearly unbearable. It's a cruel thing to be looked on as a stranger by the one who knows you best. It is cruel that I was given a taste of what my eternity could have been filled with, your smile, your pleasure, your humor, only to have it ripped away from me in seconds. It's cruel that if your memories never come back, that it would only be fair to let you go. The problem is, Genevieve, that I can't, that I never will. And I know your memories have not come back even with these letters, and that means they likely never will. But I will never stop searching for a way to get them back for you. I will search for the rest of my eternity if I must, because it belongs to you already. I pledge to you in my vows. I understand if you do not feel the same. If you need to move on with your life, our vows may have said eternally, but as I told you then, nothing is ever truly eternal except my longing for you. What vows, man? Those are great.
Did Lance's compare?
Not as poetically. Let's put it that way.
It's okay. Rowington had centuries to think of his vows.
Literally. It was somewhere in this chapter that I also liked Blackwell. I know this story isn't meant for him, but he gets like, him and Ophelia get like the mixed pack of licorice, and she likes like the
that was
one.
cute.
Oh, and he hates
And he's
the
like,
black
but I'll
one.
never tell her because
Yeah.
now she always thinks that like we get them and we share them.
Yeah, and I was like, that's so
cute.
cute.
Genevieve's
cute.
looking at him like, just throw them away.
And he's like, no. They both have two great men in their lives. Okay. Good for them. Okay. So now we're 2 months later, chapter 48. Genevieve is in the French Quarter when she runs into a stranger who is Rowan, but she recognizes him as a stranger. He talks to her and picks up a ring, asking if it's hers, and it's the ugly fucking onyx ring that she didn't like, her wedding ring, essentially. At first, she says no, and he's disappointed. And as he walks away from her, she then gets this nagging feeling, making her chase him down and tell him, yes, the ring is hers. One night, she's tossing and turning, having dreams about mirrors and trees, and suddenly sees a pair of amber eyes. So Rowan's eyes are amber colored. And she realizes that the eyes in her dream are the one she recognizes as the stranger from the French Quarter, so she recognizes them as Rowan's. And then she goes to put the ring on, and all her memories come flooding back.
Which for me, I probably would have put it on when he gave it to me, just out of curiosity. I would have been like, oh, okay.
It's like, oh shit.
You're my husband.
It's not as climactic that way. In chapter 49, Genevieve sees a memory that's not hers. It's Rowan's. And apparently he went to the King of Devils to ask for her memories back. Initially, the king wanted Rowan to convince Salem to come see him, but he declined, saying that Genevieve wouldn't like that. Rowan then offers his mortality in exchange for her memories, so he offers that his lifespan will be tied to hers. The king accepts. Rowan gives the ring to the king to put the memories into, and the king states that he must deliver the ring himself, and Genevieve must put it on her own. The king takes his immortality, but Rowan still gets to keep his magic. As he's leaving the king's lair, a devil steps into Rowan's path, telling him to tell Salem that he's coming for him. So this is the setup for the next book, I'm imagining. And then in chapter 50, Genevieve rushes out of the house at night after getting her memories back. She's kind of in a panic because she gained back the memory for the cure. She was like, oh shit, the cure. Like, I gotta go tell them right away. So she's like rushing out of the house. And then she goes down to the river walk, where Rowan emerges from the shadows, and they reunite. And they reunite when Rowan realizes she got her memories back. That's chapter 50. And then the epilogue, which I don't have anything written about. Or did I not read it? I think I.
The epilogue has to do. So this is after they go into the square, she goes in the square with Rowan, and then Grave and Seven, and this is where Lucy meets the brothers. Because Genevieve is walking with Lucy, and she's like, "You're gonna go meet the brothers. They're Rowan's brothers. You'll definitely like Seven. Grave, not so much."
Oh, Lucy, her friend from
yes,
the first book.
Mhm.
Yes. Okay.
That's why I'm like, there has to be something with her.
Yeah.
Ah. Apparently, I didn't read this. Apparently, I was like, okay.
Well, there's a devil coming back,
yeah.
apparently. So maybe they're setting it up for Lucy. Because why would they bring her back?
Yeah.
There's no reason to bring her back unless she's getting set up for the third book.
Yeah.
So it had been 2 weeks since Rowan and Genevieve saw each other. He'd been running around with Grave and Seven, all of them desperate to find their mother's cure now that the family has been released from Nox's hold. Grave flicked his eyes over to Lucy. He didn't offer more.
Which I do remember in the first book about something about Lucy and like some sort of opalescent like thing on her. Do you remember? Like on her arm or whatever. So I wonder if she'll finally talk more about that. So it's supposed to be like a Grave and Lucy love story?
Maybe, which I don't know if I would like that if it's just that. Which I don't feel like it would be.
Yeah, I'm not.
It's really just them reuniting, and it's kind of like them being normal. I don't know. I think it was before the epilogue where because like the deal now with Rowington is that they're mortals now.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, he's mortal now.
Yeah, it's just the brothers coming back. He meets Lucy, so it's mostly about them meeting Lucy, and then Salem and Ophelia are all there, and
everyone's together.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the book in a not so nutshell. Cool. Final thoughts on the book.
I like it. Like I said at the beginning, I don't like how it ended. Like this epilogue, we didn't need that.
Yeah. The epilogue didn't really set anything up that I recall for like a next book, so it kind of didn't really need to be there.
Happen. Yeah. And the ending was quite rushed. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I think the ending was really rushed.
I was like, there's only 2 chapters left. Like, what's going to, like, she doesn't have her memories. What's going to happen, you know?
Yeah. So, yeah. I like Rowington better than Salem. Salemestras.
I was looking at Reddit stuff. It was mentioning too, because when Genevieve is brought back to the house and she wakes up having lost her memories, she mentioned she has like a brief flicker of a name that Salem goes by, which is his full name, Salem Mistress Blackwell. But then she kind of like forgets about it. So I think that's also part of probably the third book.
What's going to happen?
Yeah, because because he doesn't, I don't think he remembers his full name after he leaves Phantasma, because that's like what holds the power.
Well, if anyone that knows your full name, like they can control you.
Yeah. So I don't think anyone remembers his full name, but now she might kind of remember from having her memories lost. One of the comments on Reddit said, "It's 4 a.m. and I'm awake because I had to read Enchantra in one sitting. Loved it, rings and all." Because when he fingered her, she said rings and all.
Yep. You did.
I hope you sanitize those after.
Probably not.
I hope they fit well and they didn't slip off and get stuck.
She needs a trip to the emergency room. All right, we're going to play Smash or Pass.
Okay.
Rowington.
Smash.
Smash. Piercings and all. That, you know,
rings and all?
Something new.
As is.
Rings and all.
It
As
is.
the penis piercing and all.
Yep.
It is what it is.
It is what
It's there.
it's there. Genevieve. Smash. Yeah.
She was described as a very beautiful woman.
Yeah.
Better
I
than
think she'd be
Ophelia.
fun. Sevington. Smash.
Yeah, he'd be fun.
Yeah.
He'd be fun for sure. Wellington. I'm going to pass. I don't know much about him.
Yeah, they didn't really give him much story aside from being the twin.
Yeah. Like, are they identical? No. Well, in that rendition of his.
Well,
It
they
doesn't
would
look-
be
They're fraternal.
fraternal.
Ah.
because they're not
They're not
Because
of
he's
the same biological.
sex.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
Gravington.
I don't know. He seems pretty strong. I mean,
Is that good or bad?
Depends what you want.
world. Yeah.
I'm gonna pass. I think he's a little too
I'm gonna pass.
violent.
I like my men a little mean. I don't like them, you know.
He might be.
Brute.
He might not be mean to the girl he wants. He's
Well,
just mean to his siblings.
We'll find out with Lucy. Maybe.
if that's even
Maybe.
the one.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Covington with his snake
No,
tongue.
that's just free. It's so weird. Pass on that fucking shit. Fucking slicing his abdomen to release blood. Like, it's just fucking weird. It's a weirdo.
High pain tolerance.
Yeah.
Not good.
Could do whatever you want. I would also pass on Covington. He's a little too freaky for me.
Yeah, I don't need
Yeah.
it. I don't need it.
Also, that penis been in everything. So
Who
like, I
was
don't
the
need that.
one? Was it him that, okay, at the masquerade, they were talking about the different rooms,
Yeah, he's
right?
having like a threesome.
It was
Like
him?
It was
yeah.
That there was like 2 girls going down on him.
Yeah.
I was like, ew.
Because I think they mentioned the tongue as well. In
Yeah.
that one too.
Yeah.
Ow, I poked my eye. Yeah.
Remington. So Rowington.
No.
Rowington's twin.
Smash.
I would, yeah.
Looks the same.
Just the same. Just without the fun piercings. Ellington.
That just kind of seems boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe a little too
A little
plain.
too stuck up. Not
Yeah.
stuck up. Yeah, just a little too prudish-ish.
Ophelia.
No. Fucking
Pass?
weirdo. Yeah.
Yeah, pass.
You mean you don't want to have blood raining on you while you have sex?
Absolutely not. It's fucking disgusting.
You don't want to have to dive through 25 skirts.
25 skirts. And then Blackwell.
Smash.
Yeah. Smash.
Blackwell in his phantom form or Blackwell in his
Blackwell. Casper
Blackwell
edition?
in his not Casper edition. The fuck?
Casper edition? Okay. That's the end of Smash or Pass. Now we know our preferences. Okay. I also have a segment. I didn't know what to title it, so it's called This or That.
Okay.
And so I will give us 2 options, and then I will give us on the count of 3, and then we all say it. We all say our preference,
Okay.
our option.
What
we prefer.
Can you give me like 5 seconds? I need I sometimes process
No,
things
you
for me.
gotta- no.
No, you got it. It's,
You got
it's
it.
first
Okay.
Your first
instinct.
instinct.
All right, go.
Okay.
I gotta listen then.
I know. We have to hear the options.
Okay. Enchantra or Phantasma? 3, 2, 1.
Oh.
Phantasma.
Enchantra.
Phantasma.
Okay, next.
Wait. Explain your reasoning.
I already said it's so much better. It's so much better.
Okay. When I was
Rowington.
writing this, I wasn't thinking about book versus book. I was thinking about like estate versus estate.
Oh, like the house.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going through fucking these millions of chessboard challenges, girl. I'd rather fucking play hide
Okay,
and
but
seek.
just the house itself of like without anything else.
I still think
No, because I want to go into Phantasma because I want to see all the sexy devils.
I'm good.
That's my reasoning.
I'm good on that. I'd rather go into the enchanted rooms and all that shit.
The enchanted rooms do sound cool. The little meadows.
Yeah. I do think if I were to choose like which one I would prefer to compete in, it would be Enchantra. There's highly more of a probability I can survive.
Yeah.
And every time she ran outside into the little
The maze.
maze thingy, it reminded me of I kept picturing season 1 of Bridgerton.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, that place is cool.
Yeah. Okay. Ready for the next one?
Yeah.
New Orleans or Italy? 3, 2, 1.
Italy. I really want to go to New Orleans, though.
I do too.
I want to try their food,
Yeah.
I wanna go
but
for
Italy
Mardi
for
Gras.
sure.
Okay.
That's where Enchantra is, so Enchantra.
Devils or Wraiths? 3, 2, 1.
Raise. I don't want them tricking me. I don't want them using their charm to do harm. Ha! that right.
Okay. Umbra or Poe? 3, 2, 1.
Umbra.
Yeah.
Poe was a
didn't
cat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Poe didn't get that much character development for a fucking animal, but character development.
He was just
Umbra did.
messing with Ophelia the whole time.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. Okay. I mean, I know these last two, but for fun anyway. Rowington or Blackwell? 3, 2, 1.
Rowington. Rowington. Easy, buddy.
So a couple of adjacent questions after that. Who do you think is the better partner in the games or trials?
It's gotta be Rowington.
I think Blackwell was helpful, but also he had to be summoned. Okay. I have to do the work now to get you to help me.
Where Rowington was always always had a leg up in the
But you got to
sense.
be married.
That's okay.
That's fine.
Rowington always had a plan. Like he was always the one who had the plan of what to do, and Genevieve just had to follow.
Okay.
And he could help her more too, because it's the fact that he's been through this shit fucking forever.
I was like, in all fairness, Blackwell doesn't have his memory. He's
Yeah.
just like, whoa,
He didn't know what's going on.
Yeah. Who's a better lover?
You giving me a 3, 2, 1, or am I just gonna say Rowington?
Rowington.
Said that answer.
Rings and all.
Rings and all. Okay, last one. Ophelia or Genevieve?
Genevieve. I'm not even waiting on that. Ophelia is. That's what Ophelia is.
So yes, Genevieve is definitely more entertaining as a female lead for sure. I think we can all agree on that. Do we think she also had the better character development between the two, or from what you can remember was Ophelia's character?
Ophelia's biggest problem was she was her biggest enemy, right? She had no self-esteem whatsoever. She had the biggest heart, I'll give her that, but she continuously, her failure or her faults in the game was her, right?
Yeah, and her shadow voice. Too.
And her shadow voice. And she could never get past that until like the absolute end. With Genevieve, for her, it was
her family
feeling like she wanted to find somebody that could relate to her, but she always believed in herself.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she was scarred by this man that she thought she loved, who then made her feel like she wasn't worthy, but she knew she was worthy. And that was like Rowington reminded her of that. He's like, you know your worth, you know, and she did. Like, that's how she carried herself.
Yeah.
I think she didn't let that, what's the word? Even though she felt a type of way, she didn't let it, I guess, like, hold her back from her goal.
Yeah.
Where Ophelia kind of just, it took too long for her to get there. That's the problem. In a book.
Yeah.
It took too long for
So
her to
did
get there.
Ophelia have the better character development then? Because she went from point A to point B? Where
No, because once she got it, it was like a snap of the fingers.
Yeah, that's fair. I forgot I had highlighted in chapter 35. This was after she had come out of the portal and she had the scratched eye.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
she was like freaking out,
Yeah.
breaking down, whatever. And I had highlighted what Rowington said, because he was like consoling her and like saying like, I know this is really hard. Because even though he's been through it a million times, he knows how hard it is. He's like, I know it's been really hard for you. Like, you don't, like, as soon as you feel like you have your footing, everything in Enchantra like flips on you, whatever. And so he says, Genevieve, you have to choose to live for yourself. You are the most real thing you'll ever be able to experience. Your light, your determination. You can search every corner of the universe for something else, and it will never be enough if you're trying to escape yourself. I don't know who told you that you weren't good enough, but they were fucking wrong. You're more than good enough. Your heart is more than good enough. No matter how many times it has been burned, how many scars it will have, it will keep on beating brave, passionate, and if you only let it. So I also like that, yes, I think Blackwell did help Ophelia with her character development a lot. But I liked that Rowan, it wasn't that he was trying to help, like, wasn't the catalyst of like helping her overcome her character development, but that he was like, you just need to trust yourself and you have everything that you need, rather than relying on other people and like your family to give it to you.
Who do we think had it easier?
Had it easier in what?
Like
In any way? In life, in the games, in etc.
I think in the games, Genevieve had it easier. Because from the start, she had a partner.
Right.
Who already knew what was going to happen.
Right, he was very capable already from the start.
Yeah, and she didn't really have to, it wasn't a lot of like figuring things out games-wise. It was like, don't get stabbed.
Yeah. Don't get stabbed.
Miss Girl. Hi. I would say it all really depends on how you look at it, right? So like during the games, if we want to think from a magic sense, Genevieve had it easier because she was never stripped from her magic. Genevieve wasn't allowed to have her magic during the hunt. However,
Ophelia, you said Genevieve twice.
oh, I'm sorry. Ophelia was never stripped of her magic
in her trial.
in her trials.
Yeah.
But she didn't have control of it, and Genevieve did.
That's her fucking problem. The fuck? She knew she was going to be a necromancer. Like, come on now. And then, truth though, she did have Rowington from the get-go. So she did have that a little bit easier, right? But then I think in life, I don't know, it kind of depends on how you look at it. Like, you could think that she had the easier life, Genevieve, because she wasn't the heir to the necromancer, whatever the fuck it is. So she definitely had to, she could live her life and be free. That was something that she was trying to help Ophelia. But then nobody even knew who the fuck this girl was. So it's almost like, yeah, you have the freedom to live how you want, but you're kind of invisible to everybody. So are you taken seriously? Or you know what I mean? So they both have their difficulties. I think it just kind of depends on the circumstances.
Would you rather be in Genevieve's circumstance or in Ophelia's circumstance?
Genevieve's.
I think that's because Ophelia had it harder. Like, I think I would agree. I would also choose Genevieve because, number one, I don't want the burden of having to be the heir to some family business. I don't want that. And number two, I don't want to have her shadow voice or her OCD. I think that very much was a kind of like a hindrance, right? And a little bit scary. So yeah, I would also choose Genevieve.
Yeah.
In life. Even though I do really like Blackwell, but I'll take Rowington too.
But you also have to remember too, of everything else that happened to them, she had no information on that, Ophelia, because Genevieve found it out and was trying to take the burden off of her sister. The debt, all the snaky shit her mom was doing. Ophelia had no idea of any of that, and Genevieve found out about it.
Yeah.
She's been doing her research.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's a balance. I just think Ophelia made too many excuses. That's how I look at it.
Ophelia's a whiny bitch, is what she means.
That part. It's fine. Everybody
needs to take accountability, as the Mormon wives like to say. They love that phrase.
Accountability. Just take accountability.
You need to take accountability. Yeah, that's all I had. Anything else to add?
Nope.
Big fan of Rowington.
Big fan of Rowington.
Well, let us know what you think. If you've read Phantasma or Enchantra, and if you like the series, which book did you prefer? Which romantic partner you preferred? Which main character you preferred?
Which dig you prefer?
The ghost dig or the pierce dig?
Yeah, let us know all those things. And if you're excited for the third one.
Yeah. And the third one, what you think the third one will entail.
Yeah, what do you think the third one will be about? Or maybe the author already wrote about it and we just have no idea. So
Maybe we shouldn't do our research.
We just did do our research on it.
It is titled to be called Wicked Intentions, and it's set to be released on April 7, 2026. That's soon, guys.
Oh, that's very soon.
It can be read as a standalone, but is set in the same world as Phantasma and Enchantra.
Oh.
So it's not about Blackwell.
The book is set in the same world.
I hope.
It will feature a woman trying to escape her fiance by entering a club called Demonica. Oh, okay. So we get more of that,
Demonica.
which leads to a deadly scavenger hunt against a man from her past.
Sorry.
A man from her past.
Okay. So it's about characters that
Don't really exist yet, but probably we'll have some crossovers because I mean they're still the same King of the Devils and Prince of the Devils, which is Blackwell. So Blackwell will probably be mentioned. There you go.
What if it's about Ellen? Because she was engaged, proposed to by
Serpentine.
Oh,
who's part of Demonica.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I saw.
That'd be a fucking
Okay,
whole,
wait. I'm so
like,
sorry. It bothers me that all of these books are one-word titles, and this is Wicked Intention. Couldn't she just name it Demonica? That would have fit.
You're right. I don't fucking know.
Well, now we know, and it's soon. So look forward to our episode on that
Next
year.
in April.
In April.
It's 6 months away, guys.
Yeah. And until then, embrace the instability.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe.
All the same.
Oh, wait, this is on YouTube.
This is on YouTube.
Follow us on TikTok.
Or
and
Instagram. That one's
Instagram.
doing the poorest.
Instagram specifically.
Do that.
Do that one.